Greetings, Earthlings. I have another update from the Absurdium for you. Now, I'm not going to cover Hamas postponing the next prisoner exchange. That's all over the media. But what I do want to cover is something from a website called Sonar 21, which is run by Larry C. Johnson. And I don't agree with Larry on some things, but on matters to do with government data, he's just about the best source available because he is an ex-CIA intelligence analyst. So, the title is, according to US government data, Iran is not the major sponsor of terrorism. When it comes to using terrorism as a political club, the United States government is the grand master, and a deceptive one at that. The establishment media, lubricated with funds from the CIA and USAID, continue to push the lie that Iran is a massive sponsor of terrorism. The US government considers Iran to be the foremost state sponsor of terrorism, spending more than $1 billion on terrorist financing annually, and there are between 140,000 and 185,000 IRGC Quds Force partner forces in Afghanistan, Gaza, Lebanon, Pakistan, Syria and Yemen. That's according to the government. Right, but according to the data presented in the statistical annex of the US Department of State's annual report, Country Reports on Terrorism, the major perpetrators of terrorism are Sunni groups, not Iran nor groups allegedly sponsored by Iran. The Sunni groups receive financial support from the Gulf states and, ironically, from the United States of America. The definition of terrorism, according to Bibi Netanyahu, and I agree with him, is violence against civilians for political purposes, simple and direct. I have copied the tables from the Annex of Statistical Information for the year 2016 to 2023, so you should take a look at this article so you can see the actual data for yourself. The data in these tables tells the story. ISIS has been the most active and prolific terrorist group for the 8 years presented in the spreadsheets pictured below. One group that is a subsidiary of ISIS, Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, run by al-Jilani, has placed in the top 10 of the groups with most attacks for 5 of the last 6 years. And guess who the CIA helped come to power in Syria? HDS. It is noteworthy that we've learned this week, thanks to Elon Musk, that USAID funneled funds to al-Nusra. For those of you not familiar with al-Nusra, it came into existence out of ISIS, and one of its leaders was al-Jilani, who later created Hayat Tahrir al-Sham and is now the de facto leader of Syria. The US had a $10 million bounty on his head until Joe Biden's State Department made it go away. It is only in 2023 that 3 groups with ties to Iran appear in the top 10 list: the Houthis, Ansar Allah, Hamas and Hezbollah. The US decision to place the Houthis, Hamas and Hezbollah on this list is because of their attacks on Israel, which have been directed primarily at military targets, not civilian ones. Prior to 2023, neither Hamas nor Hezbollah was identified as groups with the most attacks worldwide. Guess who killed more civilians than Hamas and Hezbollah combined in 2023? That would, of course, be Israel, but the US refuses to identify Israel attacks on unarmed civilians as terrorism or genocide. Elon Musk's revelations that USAID has provided millions of US taxpayer dollars to groups the US labels as terrorists exposes the galling hypocrisy of US policy for combating terrorism. An honest assessment of the data makes it clear that United States has been a facilitator of terrorism. Keep this in mind the next time you hear someone from the Trump administration insist that we must crush Iran because it sponsors terrorism. A nation lives in a glass house should not throw rocks. So there you have it, and we have the data to back that up as well for anybody that doesn't believe that. This is from, intelligence in the US. Okay? Now, the other thing that I wanted to quickly bring up is you may not have heard about the attacks by Hayat Tahrir al-Sham in northern Lebanon. Well, we just had some more information break on that. The Israeli Air Force provided them air cover.